But Ujaas Energy is a stock which is on our radar. Well, today the stock seems pretty flat, but if you look at the stock price performance on a year-to-date basis, it's actually rallied 185%. So, well, let's just pull up the performance of the stock on a YTD basis. There you go. It's rallied closer to 180%. Anurag Mundra, the CMD of the company, now joins us on the phone line. Good afternoon, Mr. Mundra, and thanks so much for joining us. It appears that the government's focus will be on renewable as well as solar energy. For your company in particular, could you tell us what the capacity stands at and what is the company's plans to add further capacity?
Yeah, thank you and very good afternoon. Our company, Ujaas Energy Limited, provides one-stop solution to anybody who wants to put up a solar power plant. From this activity, we get around 90% of our revenue. Until March 2014, we have commissioned more than 105 megawatt of solar power plants, out of which around 70 megawatts were coming in the previous fiscal, that is April 13 to March 14. No doubt there is an increased focus of new government on the solar power, and we believe that almost 1,000 to 1,500 megawatts will be added in current year in country's solar capacities. We would like to have a substantial share in that part.
Hi Anurag, thanks for joining in this afternoon. Anurag, what did you say your total capacity is at present?
Capacity of the nation, we have around 2,300 megawatt. And the capacity commissioned by Ujaas Energy is 105 megawatt.
105 megawatts, all right. So last year, in fact, you did 533 crores on the top line.
Yes.
This year, in fact, I believe that you all will be commissioning a few more projects.
Yes.
So what is the revenue likely to look at?
Well, I cannot comment on the revenue, but yeah, my team and we are geared up for the substantial growth. Since last 2 years, we are growing almost at the 100% every year.
Yeah, so I asked.
And my team is geared up for similar type of growth this year also.
Is it true that the company has plans to divest part of the solar power at an appropriate time and price?
We have around 14 megawatts, 14 megawatt in our balance sheet, which has been put up for our solar power business, mainly for tax planning.
Okay.
But yes, if we get, sometime we get a good premium for that, we can look at divesting those solar power plants.
So currently, what is the total price that you're looking for 14 megawatts of solar power? That would make, you would consider then it's attractive for you to go ahead and sell it?
Well, it's difficult to comment because the ready commission plant already working since 6-8 months. It depends on the buyer. It's very difficult to comment on the price at this moment.
Anurag, the national tariff policy specifies that in fact 3% of the total energy in every state should come in through solar sources. So take us through that and also take us through what is the realization per unit, because I believe in fact it's much higher than thermal power, but it's going to be a compulsion. So can you just differentiate that for us?
Yeah, surely. This 3%, the figure you have mentioned under national tariff policy.
Right.
Okay, this 3% figure needs to be reached by 2022.
All right.
So if we run the numbers and make certain projections about the total power generation in the country, we will find that by 2022, we will require at least 35,000 megawatt of solar power plant.
Wow.
And if the scenario is better, probably we may require 45,000 megawatt of solar power plant. And as of March 14, we have around 2,200, 2,300 megawatt of solar power. So there is a big demand and supply gap. To meet this obligation of 3%, there are two ways to go about it. One is the classical power purchase agreement at preferential rate. And second is the REC mechanism. An obligating agency can go to power exchange and buy renewable energy certificate. If we go to the power purchase agreement, the current bidding, what's happened, the last bid has happened in state of Chhattisgarh and state of Madhya Pradesh. The rates were close to 7 and 7.5 rupees per unit.
Okay.
However, if you go to an REC mechanism, where you sell power in open market through open access, and you get a certificate from NLDC, National Load Dispatch Center, which is traded on power exchange. So, like in the state of Madhya Pradesh, when you sell power in open market, you get almost 4 rupees 20 paisa per unit. And the RECs, the solar RECs which you trade on power exchange, fetch the floor price, 9 rupees 30 paisa per unit. The government has defined a band for REC till March 2017, where the floor is 9 rupees 30 paisa per unit and the forbearance is 13.40 per unit.
All right. All right, Anurag, I think post those details, in fact, your stock is very, very excited at this point of time. So it's up and about in trade today. Rima was pointing out that, in fact, it's up 180% for this year itself. But take a look from today's intraday low. In fact, it's up close to around 5%. But thanks, Anurag, for joining in and giving us all those details. Clearly, something that we'll have to watch out for is solar energy in the time to come.